Good morning. It's 6:30 in the morning and I'm about ready to get in the shower. But I made a chicken last night, a whole chicken in my Instapot, and I just went ahead and took off all the meat and left the skin and the bones and all that good stuff in there. It's not even shaken, and put it in the refrigerator. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this started. All right, so I have that to the full line. So this is heavy, let me come back. All right, so I have this in my Instapot, and then in the freezer, I just keep vegetable scraps, carrot shreds, that sort of thing. I don't put onions in here because I use this bone broth also in my dog food, and you don't want to feed them onions or garlic. So let's just get that in there. All right, so I have the carrots in there. I'm gonna go ahead and put the lid on. And let's turn this around. Okay. All right, so we're gonna cook this for 120 minutes 3 times. So what we're gonna use is the soup choice, and you're gonna wanna make sure your pressure is on low. So soup and low, and I had it at 120 minutes. And so we're gonna go ahead and let it go for the first round, and we'll be back when it's done. Here is what my bone broth is looking like now. Again, it's been in here for 2 cycles of 120 minutes. So it's definitely looking dark. The vegetables you see are carrots and vegetable scraps that I had. And now I'm gonna go ahead and put this bag that I forgot in there so I can run it one more time for the last 120 minutes. All right, I got those chicken organs in there. I went ahead and gave it a stir. So now I'm just gonna cancel it out of the keep warm, set the soup broth, which is already at 120 minutes and it's already at the low pressure. And there it is, it'll go for 120 more minutes. Oh, my bone broth has gone now for 3 cycles of 120 minutes, and I went ahead and turned it off. And now I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out and get it strained so we can remove all those bone bits and fat and things that I don't want in my jar. All right, so I went ahead and drained it in this big bowl here. And then I'm just gonna let this set, these big chunks. So I can make sure to get out all that goodness. I'm just gonna kind of press on it, help it along a bit. If you see here, the bones, look at it, they just break apart. They're just crumbling, and that's exactly what we want with bone broth. I'm gonna let this drain for a few minutes, and then I'm gonna dump this, and then I'm gonna come back and run this again through it to make sure we just, again, get every little piece of bone if possible out of there. Okay, so I just drained my bone broth again a second time, and I went ahead and got out my trusty electric canner, and I'm gonna go ahead and get this prepped. And once I let that set a little bit longer, I'm gonna go ahead and get those in jars and then throw them in the canner. So for the electric canner, I would be happy to do step-by-step how to use. If that's something you're interested in, let me know. Otherwise, I won't do it. But I love this thing. And if you're just a small household or doing small batches such as bone broth, I use it a lot for that. It comes in handy. So that's why I tend to move towards the electric pressure canner over my big pressure canner. I need to add 8 cups of hot water to my pressure canner. So I like to go ahead and use my electric teapot and get that water up to temperature to match the temperature of my bone broth when getting it into that canner. It just makes the canner work better and quicker. As you see, I've drained this a couple times and I am left with just tiny little tidbits. So I would say it's good to go. And my jars have been over here soaking in hot water. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and fill them up with hot water one more time. Move you over here so you can see. They are clean. I have 8 cups of boiling water in that pressure canner ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and get these jars filled so we can get them in there. So I'm just going to take the bone broth and just jar it up like anything else you would. Sorry, my camera angles are terrible in this kitchen. I'm just going to give it about a 1/2 inch of headspace on that jar. I might need to dig out some more jars. I've done this enough now, you think that I would have it down pat, but you never know how much you're gonna get out of a chicken. So I'm gonna just all right, and I think I just said a 1/2 inch headspace. Actually, on bone broth, you want 1 inch headspace. And you can measure that. They sell little measuring tools. Or I just go by that where the that rim starts is 1 inch. So I just use that as my guide. And it looks like I'm out of jars. I need to go grab a couple more, it looks like. I have my jars all jarred up. I'm just pouring myself a little bit of vinegar to clean the top of these jars. With any kind of food or liquid that has an oily texture or fat, you definitely want to use vinegar to clean your rims, because you do not want that on there, or it's going to possibly cause your lid not to seal. So I'm going to go ahead and get these all cleaned off. It's down here so you can see. Just like anything else I've canned. It's just part of that prep. And I just kind of like to move my rag around so I'm not using that same spot. I had ordered a small amount of these 4 Jars brand, and I'm not sponsored or anything, but I really like them. I haven't had one problem with them yet. I had quite a backstock though of other brands, so I'm trying to work through those first, but I definitely am switching over to 4 Jars because I've just had a really good success rate with them. All right, where is my razors? So I ended up with 9. It's so hard to put these rings on when they're hot. Ah! I ended up with 9, no, you're crooked here. 9 pints. So I'm gonna have to run my canner twice, which is fine. This is where it would come in easier to have my large one out, but I don't want to use it inside of my stove. And I still haven't got my husband to set up my Camp Chef. Maybe that is a goal for this weekend. So I have my 8 cups of hot water in here. I am gonna put a splash of vinegar just to help keep my jars clean. One thing I didn't realize when I bought this is that it recommends only using wide mouth jars, and I have a lot of regular mouth, but it's fine, it's working, not complaining, love this thing. All right, so if it's 5 pints in here, so. All right, so we are setting this to exhaust. And again, oh, I need to plug it in. That always helps. Okay, push it back a little bit. So we're gonna go exhaust, we're gonna go high, and for pints, it's gonna be 20 minutes because we don't have any meat in it, it's just the broth. Quarts, you would do 25. So 20 minutes on high, and we're gonna hit start. And there we go. Okay, so it's come up to pressure, and it's been venting for 10 minutes. So now we're just gonna go back here, and we're gonna flip this to airtight. And once it becomes airtight, it'll start doing the 20-minute countdown. And that's it. That's all you have to do. Pretty simple. I love this thing. Good morning. So it's the next day and my bone broth has been sitting. I've washed it. They all sealed, so yay. I ended up with 9 pints of the chicken stock. And I just wanted to show you what I used to make it. So you can get these at Costco in 2 packs. I weighed it and it was about 4.5 pounds. The one that I had cooked up for this. And it's organic. I ended up getting 3 meals, or I will get 3 meals out of this chicken. We've already had 2 of the meals, and for my husband and I, so for 2. And then I ended up getting 9 pints of the bone broth. So it just shows you how far you can stretch your dollar. Also, what your ingredients are. You can control what your ingredients are with making your own bone broth. When I first started making my own dog food, I wanted to put bone broth in it just for the collagen side of it for my dog's coats. They're elderly, so I wanted to have that in their diet. And I could not find any broth on the market. I'm sure there might be something out there, but not in my small town, that didn't have garlic or onion in it. So this way I can control it. Plus, if you go and buy organic stock at the store, you're talking like $8 to $10 for something this size. So 1 little chicken, 3 meals for 2, and 9 jars of. All right, thanks for watching my video. And if you have any questions about anything I did, if I know the answer, I'll be happy to answer it. Or if you have any feedback on how you make your bone broth, I'm always open for new ideas. So, all right, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video.